BTN.com senior writer Tom Dienhart with us now. His three big observations. He gives us these at every stop along the way. We're here at Purdue today. What did you see, Tommy D?
You know, this institution is known as the cradle of quarterbacks. Some tremendous signal callers have matriculated through West Lafayette last 40, 50 years. Lynn Dawson, Bob Greasy, Mark Herman, Jim Everett, Drew Brees, Kyle Orton. But the quarterback spot has not been a position of strength here for almost a decade now. In each of Darrell Hazel's 3 years here, he's changed signal callers during the season. That has to change. They need stability at the quarterback position. Maybe sophomore David Blau can give that to the 2016 Boilermakers. He started about the second half of last year, showed some promise. He's not the biggest guy, doesn't have the strongest arm, but I saw some things today to lead me to think maybe Blau can bring some stability to that quarterback spot.
It's been amazing. I mean, this is the 8th straight year they've had a different starter on opening day than the previous year. So, again, if there could be some consistency, we could feel that throughout the program. Quarterback, your first big observation. What else stood out?
Yeah, I talked about the moniker cradle of quarterbacks. Purdue's also known as the den of defensive ends. If you go out in the hallway here in the Mollenkoff Center, you'll see a shrine to some of those defensive ends. A lot of contemporary guys, a lot of good NFL players, Ryan Kerrigan, Sean Phillips, Roosevelt Colvin. I'm not sure if there's a good pass rusher on this year's team. Maybe Evan Panfield looks good. Watch Austin Larkin, the nephew of Cincinnati Red great Barry Larkin. He provides a little bit of a burst off the edge. You still have Jalen Robinson, of course Glenn Robinson's son. But again, I'm not sure if I see a difference maker off the edge. But inside, I'll tell you what, Dave, Jake Replogle, I think that defensive tackle could play for any Big Ten team. He's going to get a push, and they're hoping that he gets double teams, and maybe that creates some opportunities for these other guys.
Strung up the middle on the line, no doubt about it. The end spots are a question mark. Looks like Robinson running with the twos here.
Yeah, Larkins with the ones.
It felt as if might be one of the rising stars here, so interesting to see how his year progresses. What's the final thing that stood out?
I talked about the needed stability at quarterback that David Blau needs to provide. He's going to get a big assist from what I think is a pretty underrated group of wide receivers, a very senior-oriented group, a lot of size. D'Angelo Yancey is going to be the linchpin, I think, could have a big year. Cam Posey's a good guy in the slot. Dominic Young's a former junior college transfer who looks like he could have a big senior year. Bilal Marshall, Greg Phillips. Dave, again, this is a good-looking group of wideouts. I tell you what, if they can get a push downfield to get some passing lanes opened up, that's going to make the job of that sophomore running back, Markell Jones, that much better. He could have a big sophomore year.
I absolutely agree with you. The wide receiver's physically very impressive. Tom Dienhart, you can read him on BTN.com, see his stuff all over social media as well. That does it for our three big impressions from Purdue.